Hello there everyone, it's Acer back today with another Star Wars video. Today we're going to be talking about The Mandalorian Season 2, Chapter 10, titled The Passenger. This is going to be my spoiler review of the episode, so we're going to talk about some Easter eggs, my overall thoughts, so definitely click off of this video if you have not yet seen Chapter 10 of The Mandalorian, Season 2, Episode 2. Definitely click off of this video, you have been warned. Alright, so now that we got that down out of the way, I actually really enjoyed this episode. I've noticed a lot of people have been giving it a little bit of a, a negative reaction. It definitely slowed some things down, but I think that's for the better. I really enjoyed this episode, and the humor, I think, was its best part, because I did not expect this episode to be as funny as it was, but I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Okay, so the basic plot of this episode is revolved around this new frog lady, who doesn't have a name yet, so I just call her Frog Lady. She was really fun, actually. I really enjoyed this character. She was funny, even though she wasn't trying to be at times. Like, I was laughing, even though I probably shouldn't have been. I also found out that this character is portrayed by none other than D. Bradley Baker, who was the voice of the clones in Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. A couple other characters as well. He's also known for Perry the Platypus in the Phineas and Ferb show. But I really enjoyed this Frog Lady character. So basically her role in this episode is she has some valuable information that would be very useful to the Mando Din Djarin. Basically she knows where another secret Mando covert is located, and she'd be willing to trade that information as long as Mando gives her some safe passage to a nearby moon in the same system, or I'm sorry, the one system over, known as Trask, which is where her husband is residing, and there is where they are able to raise their offspring, the eggs that you see. I felt so bad when Baby Yoda was eating her eggs. I don't know why she just kind of let them sit in the back of the ship, but when Baby Yoda just, started to use the Force, and then he opened it and he was just chomping down on the eggs, I felt so bad. Although I guess she didn't care that much because she didn't bother to count how many eggs she had. But I thought that was so funny. Every time Baby Yoda ate one of this frog lady's eggs, I was laughing so hard. It was really awful, but it was still funny. Okay, so we gotta talk about the spider things, because they were absolutely horrifying. I have no idea how one episode could be so funny and so frightening at the same time, but this one pulled it off. Okay, so I do not believe that they're the exact same species as the ones that we see in Star Wars Rebels, but fans of that show would definitely recognize that these arachnids had appeared before. The design actually first came from Ralph McQuarrie concept art for The Empire Strikes Back. You can see it on the screen here. But yeah, I don't think they're the exact same species because of the way that their mouths are shaped. The ones in The Mandalorian have a whole bunch of teeth, whereas the ones in Rebels have a beaked-shaped mouth, but nonetheless, they're definitely of the same arachnid, family. And if you're wondering, their species is known as a Krykna. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I can't remember if they actually say the name in Star Wars Rebels, but they're a Krykna. Okay, so moving along, we knew going into this episode that the director was going to be Peyton Reed, and for those that don't know, Peyton Reed is the director of both of the Ant-Man films in the MCU, and I thought this was hilarious, because when we go back to the Mos Eisley Cantina, we see this massive ant-like creature. His name is Dr. Mandible, and I immediately started to laugh, because I was like, this clearly has to be a reference or a nod to the Ant-Man films. It just makes sense. There's no way that was a coincidence. I thought that was really funny. This episode also saw the return of Dave Filoni's New Republic character, the X-Wing pilot that we first saw in Season 1 of The Mandalorian. He actually had this exchange in the beginning of the episode. The X-Wing pilots wind up chasing down Mando, and Mando lets out this remark where he goes, "May the Force be with you," but the delivery was so dry. It was like, he totally just, could care less about the saying, but it was so funny the way he delivered it. But then towards the end of the episode, Dave Filoni's character, they actually wind up saving the Mandalorian from those spiders towards the end, so it was really cool. Okay, so next up is some pretty exciting news. This doesn't actually have anything to do with the episode in particular, but many of us were probably wondering where was Boba Fett. And Deadline reported this morning that Boba Fett might be getting his very own miniseries as a spin-off to The Mandalorian. So I actually really hope this winds up being true, because I really want to find out a lot of Boba Fett's past. Past as in post-Return of the Jedi, like how he escaped the Sarlacc pit. I think there's a lot of potential with this show. It would probably be the same length as the Kenobi show. It's a mini-series, so I don't think it'll, have multiple seasons. But I'm really excited for this. I really hope this rumor turns out to be true. Deadline is a pretty reliable source, so I wanted to share that information with you guys as well. I'll probably make a separate video on it as well, but definitely wanted to, let you guys know that Deadline is reporting that Boba Fett might be getting his very own spin-off show, so that is very exciting. Again, just take it with a grain of salt, because it has not been confirmed just yet. Alrighty then, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's going to do it for this video. Stay tuned for more Star Wars videos. Hit the subscribe button if you have not done so already. Leave a like, drop a comment. There was a bunch of other Easter eggs in this episode as well, but I don't think there's a whole lot to, make an entire video on. So just all the Easter eggs that you guys found, leave them in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are on the episode as well. Drop those in the comments. Once again, thank you just so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and may the Force be with you all. This is the way.